Well, hello again, YouTube. It's Petey Two-Finger, and I'm back with the Bass Masterson, the BC Fish, the knocked my iced tea over.
Giant fucking base. Sorry.
Giant Bass, the BC Fish Platinum Series, officially licensed by Bass Masterson. We did a brass nut. We did initially I had been shipped the wrong tuners. The auction for the tuners was for 4 inline tuners, and they sent me 2 of the right hand style and 2 of the left hand style. So I guess I'll take a break and we'll talk for a minute about navigating AliExpress. I got hurt and I'm unable to work. And I'm really lucky because I have my partner, my wife, who takes care of me, who works full time. And me doing this stuff with the music and futzing around with building stuff, it's just for fun. It's just something to keep me so I don't become overwhelmed. And it's what I do because I really can't do anything else very well, even though I can't do the music thing very well either, apparently. Before the war in the Ukraine, I was buying stuff from eBay. And then after Trump left office, I hate that guy. Orange guy, what a turkey. Huh? I noticed the prices shot through the roof. And then war in the Ukraine, and the prices shot through the roof to the point I was unable to justify buying stuff that I would pay 99 cents for, and it would show up like I would pay $1 and they would ship it from China to my it was mind-blowing for me. Just mind-blowing. And so I was able to get away with a lot. And then that era seemed to just kind of evaporate. And I noticed there's another guy on YouTube who does some similar things, and I noticed he was talking about Alibaba Express. Because I had always just gotten a vibe from that, like that was stepping over a line. You know, it was bad enough that I was going on eBay and getting stuff shipped here, buying from Chinese suppliers direct. Mind you, people will get in a patriotic fervor and rant at the holidays about American, and it really, you're buying Chinese note whether you know it or you don't. It's are you willing to pay another white guy a whole bunch of money to drop ship that item to you? And I'm not willing to do that. I'm not in a position financially where I'm able to do that. So I often will take advice or take, this guy's kind of like my guinea pig. And sometimes I can avoid some uncomfortable experience by letting this guy make the move first, and that's what I did in this case. So finally, I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm gonna buy something from AliExpress, and since then, there's been some ups and downs. First off, I noticed that the price, the shipping increase in shipping prices had not affected the market on AliExpress like they had affected it on eBay. So that was like really good news for me. So over time, you get screwed. I think 3 times now they just me play joke, and like I ordered a circuit. It was a JFET preamp. So it's a little green board with a knobber, and you can crank it up. No, I got a little yellow. It was a plastic Barbie chair. It was a little chair you could set your smartphone and watch your pornography while you hands free. So I was like, these guys, they're fucking with me. That's what they're doing. So in each instance, like more recently, I got sticky tape. I got these circles. It was a little card, and it had these little dots, clear plastic over cardboard, and it said 3M. And there were double-sided tape used for the assembly and disassembly of cell phone, smartphone. Once again, so in both of those instances, when I filed my report, it was like instantly I got the money back. In other instances where it's been like I had an EQ board, a bass, mid-range, treble, and gain EQ, and it was noisy. It was really noisy, and it was listed as having a higher quality. It consumes more current, this op amp. It's called an NE5532. And it's debatable. It depends on your perspective if you're going to consider this better IC than the next, TLO72 or OP2134. It all just kind of depends on, that's a different argument. So in those types of instances, preparing my case, I would see that it did take some time for the decision to be made, but the decision was ultimately and always made in my favor. Now, part of this is in how I will prepare my case. I will approach wisely and without malice. I'll be patient, and I will, would you like to upload some an explanation, a text explanation? Would you like to do some photographic evidence or some filmic? And what I will do is use all three. I will introduce myself and greet and thank them for hearing my case. I will do photo documentation. I will use images of the original auction. And then I will photograph my own pictures of what they sent, and there's a discrepancy there, I will use photo editing software to use color coding, red for bad, green for good. I'll put a little guy, have a little emoji, a little ha ha ha, by the image of what I had hoped to be shipped, and then what I was ultimately shipped. I'll have a guy going, a green guy, or maybe some color to represent that. Not green would be a bad example. The green guy would be the green. I usually use yellow. I think yellow and red. Those are fast food colors for the good, and then for the bad, I will use green, but I'll use like illness shade of green, like he's about to vomit. And then I will explain the image, the doctored image, that usually will have text inside of it. So they'll be graphic, like I'll divide it out. Half of the image is the photograph of the auction, the other half is what I received. I'll have a divider line in there. Then I'll have my little cartoon guys illustrating good and bad, or fortunate and most unfortunate are the words I would choose to use. And then I will have text politely and in his least amount of words explaining the conundrum. And then I will thank them. And through that process of like approaching it, assuming that this person is a neutral third party and they have no idea. So explaining the basics using international, universally acceptable imagery. What is that when the guys have the little flags and semaphore? What is that? The guys have the flags.
I don't know what you're talking
There's a guy. They use flags to communicate,
about. Oh, I don't know.
and there's a word for it. Yeah. So coming at it with a good attitude, with an understanding, internally visualizing this person having a job that might not be so pleasant, might bring out the worst in people that would make them appear as being entitled. Well, taking the opposite stance and being like, I thank you for taking a look at this situation, and I thank you for doing the right thing. Thank you in advance for doing the right thing. Have a great day. Having that attitude about it, and then being thorough, I have never lost a case. Okay. I had one guy, he was an American guy, and wasn't really a good deal, and they really charged me a lot on everything. Every way they could possibly screw me, they did. And then when I got it, it was short. Big time. Big time. And those people, the woman tried to like, it was a holiday weekend, and like all these excuses. I don't know how to work the computer, and like, well, you knew how to work the computer when you set up your website, your web store. You know, when you fucked me, you knew how to use the computer. So then she turned it over to her husband, and he started calling me names. I ended up getting after a lot of back and forth, and that guy calling me every name in the book, I ended up getting that, in favor as well. I've never really had a situation where I've spent money. I got screwed and didn't get my money back. But we have had to bring in the credit card a couple of times. It's been a couple of times. So it's when I come on here and I talk about this stuff, oh, I'm getting all this stuff from China. There's another side to it that I try to be really vocal about and explain to you guys. If you're going to try some of the same shenanigans that I put myself through, you got to be ready to be disappointed and be frustrated, and don't let that overcome your don't let that get in the way of you getting your money back. Because if you can't come into the arena, the public arena of the situation where you're going to be dealing with a third party and attempting to get a refund and be motherfucking and goddammiting, you gotta be nice, you know. So all that being said, yeah. We put this tuner on here today. And this was a clip-on tuner. I want to say it was $1.49. I forget to deal with the shipping. More than likely it was typically what I'll do. I'll have these deals where some of the merchandise on the website will say, if you buy $10 worth of stuff on this order, we'll waive the shipping fee, which is $2. So they're all small, lightweight items. You know, you're not gonna get a vice. You know, you're not gonna get an iron ingot and have them waive the shipping fee on that. But this clip-on tuner, it has the little clip, and there's a screw that comes through here. There's a little block of plastic on the far end of it's a rectangular little tuner. Did not come with the battery. For $1.49, I'd be really surprised if they shipped a battery in there. There's a CR2032, which I bought a 10-pack of those for $2.49. So we've probably got about 7 of them left. And I used these side cutters and went in on each corner and snipped away. I went around it 3 times, snippity, snippity, snip, and then I cleaned it up with this file. Last but not least, I use something that we used to call Bishop tape. This is an insulin. It's like a black dum-dum. It comes in a roll. It's about a 1/4 inch thick of this rubbery. It's almost like chewing gum that's it's not wet, and it's real sticky. So I cut a couple of strips of that and put them on the bottom, and then just press this on here. This strap came in today. This was another one of the things that came in today's order. It says Fender 60th Diamond Anniversary 1946 to 2006. And I've gotten some budget straps from, I think we paid like $3.50 for this one that was billed as being leather, and it came in it. It certainly seemed like it was leather to me. We've had that for a few years. It's a nice leather strap for $3.50. This was $2.50. This Fender, and this is, I gotta say, it's not garbage, but it's not something that maybe as I break it in, I'll become more accustomed to it. I do have another one on order that I thought that the black leather would look, you know, you can, black leather always looks professional. Always looks good to me. So I'm not so sure about this strap. We got to see. But as it is of now, I think I'm done with this bass. I've been recording with it. I've got 4 or is it 5 pieces where I've been using this. I have this, and I have a B2-1U, which is not good. That was given to me. Same with the B3. This one I bought for $50 when these things were coming out. They were $50, and I bought the guitar one and I loved it. So I bought the bass one and I really wasn't as fond of it. But I've come to I like this. It's not bad. It's not bad. Does not have an interface. I spent all this time monkeying with it, and there's no interface on it. So that was my bad. But more recently, I did a reinstall of the Windows. I had a pain clinic appointment, and I went in there, and the woman who was the nurse that ran the department had passed away. So they have a new doctor there, a young woman, and she was frazzled. It was bad. It was not good. And believe me, I've never had a problem with my pain clinic. It's always been just, I don't abuse my prescription, so I don't have a problem. And they test my urine. I go in there, I pee in a cup for them, and it comes out looking like rainbow flavored Kool-Aid with all the drugs I do. But apparently, they don't really know how to test it very well. All the crack and heroin doesn't. Maybe it's all the iced tea that I drink.
Yeah, it's just sugar that you're peeing.
So that particular day, I hit some resale stores on the way home, and one of them had a bunch of external hard drives and USB hard drives. So I bought a few of these things. They were all like 1.5 terabyte for like $2, and I was putting them on the computer, and one of them completely jigged my PC. It was like, first I had no audio, then I couldn't click in the search bar. It was doing all kinds of weird stuff. So I ended up doing a system restore, and there was all kinds of problems with that system restore. And basically I panicked. I got to boot up stable enough to transfer everything that I had on the C drive that I wanted to keep onto one of these good hard drives, and then I reinstalled Windows. Well, I haven't reinstalled my Windows in I can't tell you how long, so it was kind of an ordeal, and I'm still working through that. The fact of the matter is, and gee, if you're still listening to this video, I don't know why, but this is a really hard time of year for me. I know I say that about February, but July is bad too. And just really thankful. Every year I think of how good of a place I am in, as opposed to a certain year that I won't mention, was the year before I met my wife. I did not have a great Independence Day. I had a bad day, a really bad day. So typically what will happen is I'll have a sleepless night, and I won't be able to stop thinking about certain people and how they treated me and how things have changed. How I don't really have a family. My own family has kind of just abandoned me and forgotten me, and they won't have anything to do with me. And it's not for a lack of me not trying to be friends or to love them. I've I've been cool and tolerant with them, but um, there's only so much abuse you can take, and when someone's wrong or someone's lying or they're manipulating, I'm an adult. I have to stand up for myself. I can't take being abused like I did when I was a kid anymore. So because of me putting my foot down about certain things, believe me, really small things too, really small things, that puts me in the doghouse for 3 to 5 years. So it's kind of a cycle. I'll say something, I'll stand up for myself, and then I won't. I'll be kind of like banished. I won't be invited to the family get-togethers, and life goes on without me. And then eventually, maybe I'm let back in on good graces for some family thing, and then the pressure becomes like my own life isn't my own anymore. I'm like constantly having to kowtow and participate in activities that I'm not really good with or fond of putting up with this level of insanity. And then finally I'll say something, and then I'm back on the skids for another 5 years. So when you have everybody has their own issues with their family. And if things are not how they should be, but there really isn't anything you can do, it's something, it's easy for me to fall in the trap of thinking about it. And that this will keep me up and keep me frustrated. But at the same time, I've got everything I need. I'm fine here. So it looks like I'm clipping on this meter here. I'm going to check my audio. You guys take care of yourselves, hug your pets, and peace.